Good evening. I'm not Monica and the Explosion, so I'm sorry if that's who you're here looking for. But Monica's having problems with the internet and cannot stream, although we shout out to her because obviously you tried, so thank you, and we'll try again. I know a lot of people have problems. Um, Sadly, this government previously hasn't prioritised the internet and internet service. So, that's quite important in UK at the moment. So basically, I'm Rachel Eagling. I am the better half of Eagle, who is over that one. That's Little Eagle. And I went out earlier delivering food, and thank you so much to Hannah Bigger for providing the food again. It was wonderful, especially the cake. So all of you can now be very, very jealous. So we're here today doing Girls Aloud. We're trying to support 74 girls in an orphanage in Sierra Leone. And so far we've managed to provide them all with shoes, and they've all got like 2 or 3 outfits each now. But it is obviously a continual struggle. Going shopping for 3 of us is a challenge. So going shopping for 77 or so of you must be incredibly difficult and really frightening. Shout out to the girls, and I absolutely loved the dancing. You are getting better and better, climbing on top of each other and making pyramids. It reminded me of going to gigs with Eagle when you get the punk rockers and they're up in the sky, idiots. I thought I'd start with this song, and it's quite an old song, and just lately my dad has been in my head. So I sing this out to him. He always said we'd know he was in heaven when we could hear him singing from the clouds. So this one's for you, Daddy. Summertime and living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. You're gonna spread your wings as you take to the sky. But till the morning, there's nothing can harm you. With Daddy, Mommy's standing by. With Daddy, Mommy standing by. So I hope as the weather's a bit hit and miss at the moment, we can all remember that it is actually summertime. I've been looking for some poetry to do for you as well. And what's been interesting for me is a lot of these poems are really old, and they're certainly older than most of the girls, if not all of the girls in the orphanage. But reading through them has been quite interesting for me, and seeing that the sentiments don't really change over time and they still are applicable. So I'm going to read you a couple of them, and I've only just read them myself, but I really quite like them. It's called Who's Judging Who? Started off on cigarettes, then moved on to drink, onto dope in the hope it'd give me space to think. Then got into downers, tried to drown the world out there. Upper's just the opposite, but life's too fast to care. Experiments with LSD, expansion of the mind, doesn't really help much when the rest of the world's blind. Magic mushrooms, much the same, though at least organic. Alter your brain, but the world won't change. Panic, panic, panic. Other ways of getting kicks, videos and telly. Go out for a fast food meal to satisfy your belly. Watch the match on Saturday. Stay in and watch the fight. As long as your mind's occupied, you know you'll be all right. Which one is the real world? That of madness or of straits? Where they toy around with sertraline and control of all of our fates. I know which way my choice lies in the possible releases. I'd rather blow my mind than help the world get blown to pieces. Who's judging who? Tell me, who's judging who? Is it me or is it you? And that's my husband in the kitchen, which is rather nice. He's probably getting food. And I wrote this one similarly. It must be getting on for 30 years old, but it's called Which. Which life is the right life? The simple or the nightlife? When, pray, should one rise? At sunset or at sunrise? Which should be the upper? My breakfast or my supper? Which is the right life? Which? If the wood nymph left the park, would Park Avenue excite her? Would the glowworm trade her spark for the latest Dunhill lighter? Here's a question I would pose. Tell me which the sweetest smell makes, the aroma of a rose or the perfume that Chanel makes? Which land is dreamier, Arcadia or Bohemia? Who'll tell the answer? Is it the daisy or the dancer? Which life is for me, the peaceful or the stormy? Which is the right man, Walt Whitman or Paul Whiteman? Which? Should I read Euripides or continue with the graphic? Hear the murmur of the breeze or the roaring of the traffic? Should I stay with just one man, saying that divorce just ain't right? Or just live a life of chance and have a new one every night? So, like I say, very old ones. I'm probably gonna sing again. I like this song, and it's a really old song, but I like it anyway. I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and close with love the way you do. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me off my feet. A lot of kissing on the bottom. I'd be glad I got 'em. I'm gonna smile and say, I hope you're feeling better. And close with love the way you do. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me off my feet. A lot of kissing on the bottom. I'll be glad I got 'em. I'm gonna smile and say, I hope you're feeling better. And close with love the way you do. I'm gonna sit right down and write myself a letter. And I'm gonna make believe it came from you. Right, so Now, this is a poem I wrote a long time ago, well, within the last 10 years or so, which, when you're my age, is a bit of a blink in your eye, really. But I wrote this, and it's a true story. And I know that, I suppose I was quite lucky. I grew up in a time where it didn't really matter what you looked like, and you didn't have to always put your best face out there. I praise God every day that Facebook didn't exist back then, because there would be some photographs you wouldn't want to see. So before I do my next poem, I'd just like to say, if you do have the funds, please donate today. We need to keep these girls fed. Now they're clothed and shod, we still have to provide them with blankets. Their needs are many, but their gifts, as you've probably seen earlier, are wondrous. So if you've got any money, whatever you've got, 50p, a pound, whatever, the girls will be grateful and are grateful. And we're really enjoying this relationship that we're developing with the girls. But this is a true poem, and it's for all those women out there who suffer with a little bit of body dysmorphia. And it's called James. I was 20, curvaceous and warm, and you were 19, straight up and down. If you stood too close, you could feel the electricity as glances turned to fumbles, ending in a long night of sweaty lust. I loved your lithe body and your taut skin, and you revelled in the warm, soft, centred curves. Words were no longer needed, soon replaced by the catching breath of passion. The door knocked at 10 a.m. in halls on a Sunday morning. You froze. It was the phone, your mum. Hastily you shouted, "Tell her I'm in the shower." We cried with laughter. You'd never had a shower at 10 a.m. on a Sunday, ever. As we snuggled, you explained how your mum would hate me. And when I asked why, you said I was fat and I was common. Hard to be insulted, pressed against your rapidly hardening skin as we ceased talking. Months later, you offered to buy me a house, to make me your mistress, to love me forever. As I wasn't suitable wife material, you'd marry Lucy or Lucinda or something from the home counties just to keep up appearances. Your face was a picture. As I explained, I was much more expensive than a London townhouse and an allowance, and I declined your not so generous offer. There you go. Right, that's my husband making that noise. Applause, applause. Applause, applause, applause. Right, this is another one of my poems from getting on for 30 years ago. It's called False Dawn. And Eagle's not even heard any of these. The dawn came far too soon this morn. It was only 10 to 3, but then the light shone from the north to me. The light began to waver, and shortly it was gone, and then I felt a warming wind. 2 summer nights were gone. On noticing this curious thing, I had to take a look. So setting out along the road, my trusty horse I took. We had not travelled very far when, to my great surprise, a burning, smoking landscape lay before my very eyes. Had a fire-breathing dragon passed this way before, or had the demons out of hell emerged from Satan's door? I did not dare to seek the truth, but jumped back to my steed and warned every passer-by, "There's danger ahead, take heed." But now 6 months has passed by. A plague has taken hold, and though I'm only 19 years, my body has grown old. The death cart passes every day, the corpses piled high, and so I lie here in my bed, knowing my time is nigh. Jolly happy things. But my heart really goes out to all those people who were in the severely at risk group, and Eagle is also quite at risk from COVID-19. And I know that a lot of people are feeling deserted, so you haven't been forgotten. We do love you, and we will try our damnedest to keep going. So that's what we'll do, really. So who's on after me, Eagle? Go on, shout at me. Can't remember. He's rubbish, isn't he? But he'll have a look in a little bit, I would imagine. Have I got your computer? I can't work a computer and be videoed at the same time. I do think it's slightly impossible for Rachel. It's not in her repertoire. Right, Eagle wanted me to sing this, so I think I'm going to finish. But like I say, if you've got any money, please donate. Our children, the children that we support, desperately need things that we take for granted. They need food. They need more than 1 or 2 meals a day. So if you've got it in your heart, try and make a difference. And this one is for Watty Riot. I'm tired of ignorance, and I'm tired of hate, and I'm tired of justice turning up too fucking late. I'm tired of racism when all is black and white, and I'm tired of hearing another victim die tonight. Whoa, 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 whoa. Some got lost in suicide, homicide, and genocide. I can't find a place to mind this screaming in my mind. And I'm tired of freedom being enjoyed by the few. When will they listen to a different point of view? So many warmongers who love to kill the peace, and so many soldiers die in wars that never cease. Whoa, 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 whoa. Some get lost in suicide, homicide, and genocide. I can't find a place to hide. They're screaming in my mind. And I'm tired of drug dealers taking people's lives. And I'm sick of guns, and yeah, I'm sick of fucking knives. I'm tired of murderers, of killers on the run. And I'm tired of people spoiling other people's fun. Whoa, 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 whoa. Some get lost in suicide, homicide, and genocide. I can't find a place to hide. They're screaming in my mind. It's just ignorance, ignorance, ignorance. Whoa, ignorance. Thank you. Good night. It's as if you...